he is still in violation of code. So I'm
I
just.
would have to look at the details again to verify that that's true.
Okay. I think that would be a good place to start, to see if they.
So yeah, I mean, we've gone back and forth with both property owners many times, and it's come down to, okay, you guys need to figure out where exactly the property line is so that we can tell the property owner, okay, here's where it needs to be. You need to cut back this far.
Yeah, but in talking to Javin, it sounds like the patio is only allowed in the back lot line. So when you're talking roof overhang, I'm thinking he could maybe have 1 foot off the house, or 6 inches, or are you thinking there's more than that?
I don't recall.
It's 2 feet.
Honestly, I don't recall. There was, like I said, it's been quite a few months since I've looked
Okay,
at the
because it
details
looks like
of
he's
this
missed
case.
it by.
I remember it generally, but not the specifics.
It looks like he missed it by 10 feet. So it seems like he's missed it by as far as you could miss it by.
Yeah. So I can look at those details again.
Okay.
But it's still, I mean, for us to go to the person that built it and say, okay, here's where you need to have it to, the measurement that we go from is from the property line. That's what I'm remembering the most, is that the way the certain provision we were looking at in the code measures from the property line over. And so we need to know where that property line is. And if there's a dispute between property owners as to where that line is, that's a civil matter that those two property owners need to resolve.
There's no dispute. He pulled up the stakes.
Before we can really say for sure where that needs to be.
So basically, if he never agrees to or hires a surveyor to verify the property line, he basically doesn't have to comply with the code, is what we're saying.
That's not necessarily what I'm saying.
Or is there a gap that we fill? Because at this point, I think he basically he's not going to cooperate or do anything along those lines, because it would result in him showing that he's wrong. And so as long as he doesn't cooperate, I think he's found himself in a good spot.
Right. And so the other neighbor has the right to seek legal counsel to take civil action against the other property owner to force them to come to an agreement as to where the property line is. Then we can tell that property owner, okay, here's where the property line is, the judge has ruled on it, now we can go forward with telling you how far you have to cut it back. Yeah, I mean, if a building permit is required for it, then yeah, we can require him to obtain a building permit.
Yeah, but we really, how do we get him to do that?
So we go through our normal enforcement process of saying, hey, you've got to apply for a building permit or we're going to take you to court.
So the city would take him to court if he doesn't get a building permit?
We can, yes.
Okay, now I think that's the option I'm interested in. How does that work? How do we get to that point?
My staff would send him a notice of violation for building without a permit.
Okay.
And then if he doesn't obtain one, then we send it to court to go through that process.
I think that would be the approach I would recommend we take.
And I'm okay with that. My only concern, in getting the thing fully resolved, it still will go back to figuring out where the property line is.
Yeah, but I think once he goes to court, he'll be motivated to resolve it, because at this point, he's motivated to not resolve it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so I think once he's in court, then I think at that point, his cooperation will change dramatically, and we'll have two property owners that will cooperate.
Yeah. Do you have the address of the property by chance?
Yes. It's 3737 Foothill Drive. I just talked to Doug, and I think he's familiar with the project, and he can talk to you about the patio being out of needing a permit from the building department.
Yeah.